Welcome back, everybody, to the Westlake Hornets Team Builder Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. As today, season number 12 is officially underway. The Westlake Dynasty is still going strong for another 12th season. So, going to be introing the season, going to be reviewing the schedule, red shirts, depth chart, recruiting, other preseason stuff. But there are a few things I would like to go over first. Westlake had 3 late transfers after the offseason that sort of came out of nowhere. And they are 3 rather big ones. So the first one is wide receiver Cedric Gregg. He will be now attending Washington State. Gregg was redshirted last year, was unsure on transferring, but the Westlake management told him that you're not really going to get a ton of playing time in the near future. He wanted to play, and I can't blame him. So Cedric Gregg will now be wide receiver 3 in Wazoo. The Hornets also had 2 quarterbacks leave, including Norton Michelik, the former Burmester High alum. He will now be the starter at Notre Dame. There are a lot of good receivers on Notre Dame, by the way. But the Fighting Irish did not have a set guy at quarterback. It looked like they were going to start Sean Charles, an 80 overall senior. However, they preferred the skill set of Michelik, and he will likely be the day 1 starter. But the other player, and perhaps the biggest, is Rodney Allen. Allen is entering his redshirt senior season. He was not going to start this year for Westlake because of Stephen Westwood. Allen figured that he might as well get a full year of starting just so he can impress NFL teams and actually get a full opportunity as a collegiate starter. So the school Rodney Allen will be attending is, let's scroll up here a little bit more, the Iowa Hawkeyes. Rodney Allen will be going to Iowa. Now, I kept Rodney Allen on our roster just to make sure I gave the 2 Rodney Allens the exact same rating. So Rodney Allen will be the full-time starting quarterback this year for the Iowa Hawkeyes. We will play against Iowa this year, spoiler alert. So we will get to see Rodney Allen in action, which should be a lot of fun. I briefly showed off the schedule in the off-season episode. However, I have made a couple of changes to the schedule in the non-conference. The first 2 games are the same, though. Week 1 versus Utah State, taking on our rivals. That's pretty much a given. And then week 2, I really wanted to play Oklahoma this season. They have a really interesting roster, so I wanted to take on the Sooners in Norman, Oklahoma. And then I did change the other 2 non-conference games. Week 7 was originally against Georgia State. That's now a bye week. Week 10 was originally against Miami, but we had to play Iowa at some point. We had to take on Rodney Allen one way or another. And then I wanted to play against Auburn. So we're going to be playing against them week 12. And I think the interesting part of this schedule is we have no home games between weeks 6 and 12, not including weeks 6 and 12. So 7 through 11, we are not home, which is interesting because last year we had a similar span. I think weeks 5 to 9, we were not home at all, which obviously is a big deal for recruiting. So we're, going to want to have a lot of guys visit early. Weeks 4 and 6 should be hot spots. But we do have these 3 last weeks at the end of the season against Auburn, Arizona State, and BYU to have some visits come in. So it's going to be a challenge not being able to have visits come in for a 5-week span. But that was the case last year. We were able to make do pretty well. So I think we'll be A-okay. I did show off the red shirting and the depth chart in the off-season episode. I have made a few small changes. For red shirting, I have taken the red shirt off of Richard Rivers Jr. because I feel like he's too good not to play this year. I mean, this kid is an absolute specimen. 6'11", 280, a freak in the middle. In some of the practices I've done, I mean, he's just a giant in comparison to everybody else. But he's the only change I'm making to the red shirting. Him and Paul Richard are the only true freshmen who will not be getting red shirted. And then the only other player getting redshirted is running back Isaiah Sparks. So that is the plan with redshirting. This is what the depth chart will look like for the most part. Stephen Westwood, obviously the starting quarterback. No Rodney Allen, since he's at Iowa. I wanted to keep it realistic, so he won't play for us. We'll see a healthy running back by committee between John Cummings and Irving Porter, with some occasional touches from Drew Harris and Derek Beck. The fullback will be JUCO sophomore J.C. Godwin. At wide receiver, I think we got this top three pretty much set with Carter Westwood, Ulrich Ayuluko, and Cassius Troy. I've been having a battle for wide receiver 4 in practice between Dale McBride, Tegan Moon, and Zeke Bowman. Of the three, I would say I'm most impressed with Dale McBride, and I think he's probably winning the battle so far, but I do want to see what all three of these players can bring to the table early in the season. So, I mean, this is not a locked win for McBride by any means. Tight end will be Reggie Herman, followed by Paul Richard. The offensive line will be the exact same as it was last year. We do have a pair of seniors this year, so hopefully going to get some new offensive line recruits after kind of striking out last year. Delvin Hines at left end. This man is still a monster. Mike Wilson will be the starter at right end. We'll see some occasional snaps from guys like Nick Gardner and Michael Dubzinski. Inside, I wanted to start the October brothers this year with Octavius and Kez, but it's Richard Rivers. It's Big Freaking Tuna. I can't say no to Big Tuna here. So the starters at D-tackle will be Octavius October and Richard Rivers Jr. The left outside linebacker, this is another position I'm probably going to have a position battle for throughout the beginning of the season. There are a lot of players I'm considering here. I think Joe Brewer is the favorite, but I'm also looking at Dylan Washington, Dante Rollins, David Harris, Ronald Benson, Nick Lott. So there are multiple players I'm considering there. Middle linebacker will still be Justin McGee, right outside Lewis Kahn. In the secondary, I think this is what the cornerback depth chart will look like. No position battles here. Mitchell, JPP, Richards, and Kyle Harris is the 1 through 4. Free safety will be Marcus Lee. Strong safety will be Marcus Jones. Kicker will be Volker. Punter will be Guillory. I'm going to have a healthy battle for kick returner number 2. Obviously, Ayuluka will be kick returner 1. Last year, it was Carter Westwood. However, I think there are players like Dale McBride, like Tegan Moon, like Tristan Moon, who have better skill sets than Carter Westwood to be returning kicks. Punt returns will be done by Ayuluko, kickoffs by Volker, and the launch snapper will be Josh McClelland. I have been working hard the past couple of days on custom recruits, which will be shown at the end of today's video, but I have completed that. So now we could skip to recruiting itself. Very curious to see what recruiting brings us this season, so let's get this show on the road. The past 2 seasons, there have been generational prospects with defensive tackle Richard Rivers Jr. last year, and then wide receiver Carter Westwood the season before. Obviously, both of them are with our team. I don't think that there's that generational prospect this year, but there should certainly be some talent and a lot of players interested in us at the top, including the #1 athlete in the nation, Justin Graves, who ran a 4.26 40-yard dash. Hello! Got a 5-star quarterback, Tyler Day. I mean, we don't really need a quarterback. Wide receiver, Aaron Quinn. Wouldn't mind adding another receiver. Halfback, Matt Miller. I do want to add another running back in recruiting, another athlete, Tyrone Johnson. Wide receiver. Not a lot of defensive players at the top interested in us. Right as I say that, Corey Lamb, defensive end, but he's only 6 for us, so very interesting. Wow, there are a lot of 5-stars this year. 47. Usually there are not that many 5-stars, so that has to tell you that this class is pretty good. I've made a recruiting board, and it's time to open up scouting. The top overall player in this class is athlete Justin Graves. This player reminds me a lot of a few of our former Westlake Hornets, Sean Briggs and Adam Alexander. Both similar sizes. Both were 5-star athletes. I think Adam Alexander was the top player in his class as well. All of them have had freakishly athletic speed and have had good abilities to play in the secondary. So Justin Graves, probably a defensive back, as he will stay at an 81. I do want to get another receiver or 2 in this class. I always think it's good to get at least 1 or 2 receivers per year. Could Aaron Quinn be that guy? Well, he does go down 3. That hurts a little bit, but maybe we still go after him. Want to continue to look at running backs. I know Alabama had a really good running back in this save recently by the name of Matt Miller. So hopefully this guy can have a fraction of that success. He goes up to a 79. Yeah, this guy looks pretty good. Athlete Tyrone Johnson, he goes up to a 78. Wide receiver Derek Smith, down to a 73. The receiver's not starting all hot today. Defensive end Russell Ingram Jr., he plays for the Ogden team. He goes up to a 79. Amir Logan, offensive tackle, 78. We need tackles. We need tackles. This guy has a chance of starting day one if we get him. Corey Lamb, defensive end, 77. That's still pretty good. Joe Lilly, 79. 91-man, 89 zone. Dear Lord. 90 route running. This guy looks sick. Joe Lilly. Keep your eye on him, fellas. Terrence Johnson, tight end. He goes down to a 77. I would not mind to get some more tight ends this year. Athlete Bobby Fowler. He looks like a quarterback. We don't need quarterback, obviously. Maybe wide receiver. Defensive end Namir Apple stays at a 77. Safety Florentino Phoenix, the younger brother of new Westlake kicker Zebediah Phoenix II. Zebediah will be the main kicker next year with Volker Gantz graduating. Florentino goes up to a 78. Jarrett Shaw, defensive. There are a lot of good defensive ends in this class, I think. Running back Brendan Sanchez stays at a 74. Safety Shanarda Budga. This is the younger brother of Shanarin Budga, a safety in our Lions franchise. He goes down to a 76. Tight end Lamar Gallagher, 79. I like it. Cornerback Brandon Ralph. Cornerback's another position like wide receiver. It's always good to get multiple at the position per class. Defensive tackle Cedric Johnson goes down to a 76. And then the final player we're going to scout here in this first stage is cornerback Devon Harris. Goes up to a 77. One of the reasons I enjoy these preseason episodes so much is insta-committing. However, we are going to have to save that to the end of the episode. I like to save that best for last. Do want to look at some preseason polls, All-Americans, Heisman Watch. Maybe Stephen Westwood finds his way in the Heisman Watch. I won't be surprised by that. But the preseason polls, unsurprisingly, we are #1 in the nation. That's not a shock. They got Tennessee at 2, yet Tennessee is only a B-. They're an 83 overall. Eek. We are obviously 99 everything. But here's a look at... Ooh, wow, they are respecting BYU at 7. BYU had a great season last year. And I think BYU is going to repeat their dominance. We'll have to see. Notre Dame and Norton Michelik round out the top 25 rankings. Where is Iowa at? I think that's a big question. I don't think we've ran into the Hawkeyes yet. There they are at 57. So it's not going to be easy for Rodney Allen, but I think he has the talent to do it. South Alabama gets the nice ranking, 69. And now who's the worst team in college football? I think that becomes the big question now. That honor goes to the University of Louisiana Monroe. They stole one of our recruits a couple years ago, so still kind of salty at them for that, but oh well. Conference outlook, I assume we're going to be first place. Yeah, first place in the South. First place overall. Not too much of a surprise. Heisman Watch. Will Stevie be in here? Will someone else like John Cummings be in here? And no, that's unfortunate. The favorite is Oklahoma running back Cedric Neal. He was one of the reasons why I wanted to play against Oklahoma this season because he looks like a pretty fun player. They also have multiple good quarterbacks, so we'll get to watch a lot of talent on that team. Looking at preseason All-Americans, we got Josh McClelland on there, probably a bunch of defensive players. Delvin Hines, Octavius October, Justin McGee, Lewis Kahn, Marcus Lee, Marcus Jones. On the second team, Carter Westwood makes it. Okay. Along with Brandon Flores. And then how about all Pac-12? Carter, McClelland, Flores, Hines, October, McGee, Kahn, Mitchell, Patterson, Marcus Lee, Marcus Jones. Pretty much our whole team. And then I believe we have one freshman All-American. It won't show it here for whatever reason, but I know Cassius Troy's name has like an All-American symbol next to it, so I'm pretty sure he's an All-American for a freshman. So now it's that time. Insta-committing. So for those who are not familiar, we have unlocked the ability to offer anyone who is first place for us, like Matt Miller, if we offer them a scholarship, there is a 20% chance that they commit on the spot, and that does not include Matt Miller, unfortunately. How about Tyron Johnson? Nope. Derek Smith? Nope. Russell Ingram? Yup! Russell Ingram Jr. has committed to the team. This is a pickup I am very excited about, so we are on the board. Amir Logan, give me a tackle, baby. No, okay, that's kind of disappointing. Terrence Johnson, the more tight ends, the merrier. He says no. How about Namir Apple, defensive end? He says no. Does Florentino Phoenix want to join his brother? No. How about Jarrett Shaw? No. Brandon Sanchez? No. This is not going too well. Brandon Ralph? No. David Lloyd? No. Brandon Brown is a no. Raquise Green is a no. Lewis Huffman commits defensive tackle. We don't really need D-tackle too much, but hey, I'll take it. We just need anything at this point when it comes to these instant commits. Richard Golden, offensive tackle, please. Yes. All right, how good is he? That's my question. Okay, he's not very good. Well, at least we got him to the team nonetheless. Anyone else? Josiah Mendez. No. Okay, so we get 3 players. We get an offensive tackle. We need depth there. Get a defensive tackle, but more depth the merrier. But the big one for me is Russell Ingram Jr., defensive end. I really like his skill set. I think he has a nice future with the team. So we get 3 players. One of them I think has a really bright future with us, so I'm not too upset. This is how I'm going to be allocating the points here to start the season off. We can offer up to 700 points per player. The only guy who currently has 700 points is Amir Logan, because I need some offensive line help really darn bad. I think Amir Logan probably would start day 1. I don't know. We'd have to see. So obviously, how we spend our recruiting points will change over the season. If you want weekly recruiting updates, I do those in my Discord. So I do encourage you join the server if you are interested in seeing what's going on in recruiting. Obviously, we'll also have the recruiting special within the next couple of weeks, so that's certainly something to stay on the lookout for. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Next episode will be Week 1 against Utah State, and now it is time for the custom recruit montage. So have a good one. Deuces.
Perfect. 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 Perfect.